Speaking of the tyranny, Daily Wire has this report. Shortly after taking office in January 2021, President Joe Biden's administration pressured Facebook to stifle the Daily Wire's reach on the platform and boost the reach of legacy media outlets, according to meeting notes recently turned over to Congress. The newly released documents, which were reviewed by the Daily Wire, show that Facebook repeatedly confirmed to the White House that it was working to re-engineer its platform in order to accomplish the administration's directives on suppressing content that clashed with its COVID vaccine agenda. The meeting notes, first reported by Just the News, detailed discussions then White House Digital Director Rob Flaherty had with Facebook executives in 2021, where the Biden staffer pressured the big tech company to moderate content related to COVID vaccines in order to enforce the administration's policy goals. During one meeting on April 14th, 2021, Flaherty asked Facebook about changing the algorithm to push content from the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal over news from the Daily Wire and other polarizing entities. Quote, if you were to change the algorithm so that people were more likely to see New York Times, Wall Street Journal, any authoritative news source over Daily Wire, Tomi Lahren, polarizing people, you wouldn't have a mechanism to check the material impact, he asked. At the time of the meeting in April 2021 and in the months following, the Daily Wire was the leading publisher on Facebook, getting far more clicks and reactions than the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and every other conservative liberal news site. The meeting notes show the Biden administration telling Facebook that it was concerned about misinformation on the platform that caused many Americans to be hesitant about rolling up their sleeves and getting vaccinated. Now, it's funny because you still sometimes hear from some conservative critics of ours, of the Daily Wire, that the Daily Wire is somehow part of the establishment, right? Or whatever. You still see this. And one of the establishment. We're establishment shills over here at the Daily Wire. Meanwhile, there are meetings at the White House about how to reduce our reach, okay? We have the White House conspiring against us. YouTube is demonetizing us. Fox News has blacklisted us. We have fact checkers, quote unquote, and media watchdogs, quote unquote, leftist activist groups working around the clock to put out hit pieces, scare away advertisers, try to bankrupt us, on and on and on. We are, to put it mildly, not a part of this club, okay? We don't want to be in it, and we certainly aren't invited. They hate us, and they hate us more than they hate most other outlets and people on the right. That's undeniable. It just is. And there's a reason. I see all this as affirmation. Well, if you want some positive news in the culture war, since Roe v. Wade was overturned, the left has lost their minds, making abortion their official sacrament. The pro-life efforts, which are now more important than ever, are booming. You heard that right. Despite the narrative, pro-lifers did not go away. They increased in number. In fact, as one of the largest pro-life organizations in the world, no one is in a better position than 40 Days for Life to end abortion in each state in a post-Roe America. 40 Days for Life is changing hearts and minds in the most blue pro-abortion states out there. They have a record number of locations since Roe was overturned, and they grew in both volunteers and locations. With about 1 million volunteers in 1,500 cities, they hold peaceful vigils outside abortion facilities. You can help them fight the ongoing legal battles by protecting free speech for their volunteers by giving a tax-deductible gift of any amount at 40daysforlife.com. That's 40daysforlife.com. As many of you know, we have been giving our dog Rough Greens for a while now, and we love it. Our dog has a ton more energy, is always running around with our kids. I'm serious. Our dog and our kids constantly have the zoomies. What? They're always running around and love playing fetch in the backyard. Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, is focused on improving the health of every dog in America. Little did I know, before I got Rough Greens, dog food is dead food. Everyone knows nutrition isn't brown, it's green. Let Rough Greens boost your dog's food back to life. Rough Greens is a supplement that contains all the necessary vitamins that you need if you want to have the zoomies, plus minerals, probiotics, omega oils, digestive enzymes, and antioxidants that your dog needs. I know when I eat that stuff, I have the zoomies all day long. You don't have to go out and buy new dog food. Not that I'm eating dog food, whatever. You just sprinkle Rough Greens on their food every day. Dog owners everywhere are raving about Rough Greens. It supports healthy joints, improves bad breath, boosts energy levels, and so much more. We are what we eat, and that goes for dogs too. Dr. Dennis Black is so confident Rough Greens will improve your dog's health. He's offering my listeners a free Jumpstart trial bag so your dog can try it. A free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door in just a few business days. Go to freeroughgreens.com/Walsh or call 844-ROUGH-700. That's free, RUFF, greens.com/Walsh or call 844-ROUGH-700 today. We hear so much about affirmation these days. It's important to be affirmed. Well, this is affirmation for me. I'm not happy about it. I mean, the plan to reduce our reach on Facebook, for example, was successful. And Very successful. And we've taken a major, major financial hit because of it. I can tell you that. So I'm not happy about it. I prefer that it wasn't happening, but I know that it is happening because they fear us, and they fear us because we're effective. You know, if you let us on a level playing field, if you let us simply have access to the audience, to our own audience, like if you let us, people come to us and say, hey, I want more of this content. I'm a fan of this. I want to, and then you let us just access that audience. Nothing special. We don't need we don't need you to prop us up in any special way. Just let us have access to our audience. That's it. And let the chips fall where they may. And if nobody's interested and we're irrelevant, then fine. Then we'll all go to business and we're going to have to find other jobs. That could happen too. But we know that if you do that, we dominate. You know, we win the argument. We were the top publisher on Facebook for a reason. We can win hearts and minds. That's what we were doing. We are doing. Their only recourse is to stifle and silence us. It's all they have. That's all they have. But even that's not working. Because that's the thing that we also decide is that we're not going to let these bastards chase us away to some irrelevant corner of the internet, to some internet ghetto. We're going to stay right in the thick of it, and we're going to fight this out, and that's what we're doing. And you know, deck is stacked against us in a big way on a lot of these platforms, but that's what we decided to do. We're going to continue to do it. And this, to me, is just more confirmation that that it's an important fight to have. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.